How's it going, everyone? Pat Barnum, joined by Robbie Floyd and Kenan Harkin. And we last left you today. It was all about freestyle motocross. Unbelievable day. We said tonight was going to be about highlights, and that's just what you're going to get. We saw some incredible action. Most notably, I think, Mike Metzger, would you say, in his first run?
I think he had a great run, but it got a little breezy out there today, Pat. I mean, 30-mile-an-hour winds, breezy, but it was still calm for a little while.
Yeah. So we look back on Mike Metzger's run. And here's a rider who has just been battling injuries. About 7 months ago, had a serious groin injury. Just rode for the first time about 3 weeks ago since that injury. So
he said he's really actually had about a week's riding time out there, and he got hurt in Geneva, Switzerland. He is back, and you know, he does tricks that he has not done in quite a while. Some very dangerous tricks. Had a really good run going.
Definitely did. You know, Metzger always out there for the fans. He is one of those guys that rides on the seat of his pants, on the blade of a knife, if you will. And that's exactly what he started to do as this run progressed. Lots of extension and lots of low landings, but then he would just pin it and get on over the next jump.
And the thing I love about Metzger, you never know what he's going to do. He can have a safety run, and all of a sudden he pulls something out of nowhere.
Look at that right there, rock solid, letting it go. Now this course is tight, it's tricky. You can see the dirt cobbles. The traction is not an optimum. It's not the best track necessarily, or course, but he makes the most of it. Does get here, look at that, off-axis backflip.
Yeah, throwing a little style in there, Robbie. You love to see that. The judges like seeing those tricks when you're combining two. There you had a sort of a tabletop and then a backflip. A little bit of a case with that one, but look, knack backflip. That's the one that got him into some trouble 7 months ago.
Yeah, that's what hurt him in Geneva, but when you're seeing him link up tricks, right there, that was the fall that did it for him. He let go at the optimum time, perfect. You could not have crashed any smoother than he just did.
You know, he got to get out of jail free with that one. I'm telling you, that was a free pass. He could have been really wadded up in that bike.
He is with Justin Nowak. A disappointing second run, but still looking like he has a good time out there.
Yeah, how was it out there with the lighting and everything and having to wait so long, Dustin?
They're hard to see. Plus, I caught some gusts of wind, and it wasn't even fun. It wasn't even worth risking it, so I just went and played road.
Looking at the flags right now, and there's no doubt it's much calmer than it was earlier, but are you still feeling gusts?
Yeah, I came over the 85-footer and still caught a pretty good gust, and it cleaned my front end out, and I don't want to risk it. I had a good first run, and I'd much rather stick with that and stay safe, and it's just not worth it waiting all day and trying to go out and do it again.
All right.
Smart. I mean, Mike had a great first run score, so you know what? Stick with it, brother. Stick with it, because Mike Metzger's up next, and he really has to get moving.
Earlier today, he stole the show. Robbie, you're on the deck.
Hey, Mike Metzger, I just talked to him just a moment ago, and I said, well, Dustin was talking about some shadows there. He pointed a couple of areas on the two corners coming in. He said there probably will be some shadows, but you're talking to Mike, who's probably one of the most gifted motorcycle riders / racers out there. He's raced many times at night, and I promise you it will not affect him like it does many of the other riders.
Thanks, Robbie. As you were talking, he cased on the backflip, and then was able to
all the way to the flat bottom.
And right there, a little McMetz signature trick with his name. I want to point out, though, earlier today on his first run, attempted a dirt-to-dirt flip on that first hit.
Yeah, he
was able to slide out and then came back and did it again. That is unheard of.
Exactly. The crowd was at the edge of their seats. I was beating Pat up. It was incredible up here in the booth. Just imagine how Metzger felt. That bike almost got away from him.
Metzger trying to make up some serious distance. His first run, a score of 70. The top score right now is held by Jeremy Stenberg with a 94.3.
And Metzger going down on a backflip earlier today, able to get away from the bike by some sheer luck. He got a free pass with that one, because that is one trick you cannot bail out of most of the time.
And I also want to point out, Jeremy Stenberg, he's already taken his second run, so
slow dirt to dirt. Will he do another one? Yes! In the darkness, a flip to flip on the dirt hits, excuse me.
Mike Metzger practically riding by Braille here, going for that clear and running into some problems there.
But still, with the excitement in this run, I'm certain that he is going to improve upon that first run score.
Well, it's interesting. We saw some variations, flip variations from Jeremy Stenberg as well.
Well, you know, you mentioned that he's riding by Braille. I like that comment. He is also riding by sheer experience. Robbie pointed it out. This is a master, a veteran, if you will, and he is not afraid to ride that motorcycle. So confident in any kind of condition.
together, a podium finishing run, and then he'll just keep going. He'll go until and visibly shaken by that fall.
I mean, Pat, you know, you watch BMX, you watch skateboarding, you know, and there are some serious crashes that happen in those sports, but the smallest crash on a dirt bike is like the hardest ones out of those sports. And I'll tell you, the way he whipped off that bike, he was like a rag doll. But so many incredible moves. Hero clicker backflip. Look at this, he wraps his legs around his arms while upside down, and you see he cased the jump and bounced all the way to the flat bottom, and the McMetz getting through the bars, removing the hands as he wraps his legs back around. And the rock solid, I thought he was gonna lose it. Watch how far the bike takes off. Look at this, throws himself out, and then the bike would wait. Oh boy, I better get back on there. Need some kind of umbilical cord to get back on that bike. And the backflip to backflip on the dirt hips.
Many riders just having problems doing that on a standard trick.
And watch as he is just taken off of this bike, the knack-knack backflip. That's what got him back in Europe, where he had a tremendous injury, and you just see he is flung off that bike.
Yeah, well, he was unable to compete in Louisville. Injury that occurred 7 months ago. Rode 3 weeks ago for the first time since that accident in Italy, in his second run on 90.1. 90.1 for Metzger. The best he'll be able to do is 9th place. Disappointment for Metzger, who was showing so much promise on his first run.
Yeah, Mike Metzger just having an insane run.
Mike Metzger went down hard. Robbie, what is the latest on that?
And I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you, his big toe is broke. When the big one's pointing towards the little one, that's not a good thing. And Mike says, I broke it. That's just the way I run it. I was putting a show on for the crowd. I hope they enjoyed it, but he definitely has a broken big toe.
Thanks, Robbie. On course right now, Isla Grove currently sitting in 3rd place.